In famous studies, researchers found they could watch a couple fight for exactly 5 minutes and predict a future breakup with over 90% accuracy. That researcher, John Gottman, spent decades proving that our romantic success isn't down to luck or unique chemistry. We operate on hidden, highly predictable patterns. These patterns exist because our behavioral defaults are often established in childhood, setting the template for how we handle connection and conflict as adults. This is attachment theory. A secure style develops from consistent support, balancing independence with closeness. If love felt unpredictable, we default to an anxious style, fearing abandonment and needing reassurance. Conversely, when needs are ignored, we become avoidant, viewing closeness as a threat and withdrawing. These responses were survival mechanisms, essential tools you developed to navigate your earliest environment that are still running in your adult background. You didn't choose this initial programming, but its influence is absolute. You are responsible for identifying these defaults before they sabotage your present. This sabotage becomes visible the moment a relationship faces friction. During a fight, the brain often bypasses logic and activates a primal autopilot designed to protect the ego at any cost. Gottman categorized the most destructive subconscious behaviors as the 4 horsemen. It begins with criticism, attacking character instead of behavior, escalating to contempt, mocking or acting superior. The final stages are defensiveness, making excuses, and stonewalling, where one partner shuts down entirely. These behaviors persist because of how the human brain processes information. We are biologically wired with a negativity bias. This is why Gottman's research points to a 5-to-1 ratio. Because the brain weights negative experiences so heavily, it takes 5 positive interactions to counteract the emotional weight of a single negative one. Relationships fail when the negative autopilot becomes the dominant mode of interaction, eventually overwhelming the small moments of connection required to stay afloat. Even when a relationship ends, the autopilot continues to steer. This explains why many people jump into intense new romances just weeks after a devastating breakup. When a connection is severed, it leaves an attachment gap. The brain experiences this emotional vacuum as something it's desperate to close. To avoid the pain, the brain's default survival mechanism is tethering itself to the nearest available person. The resulting intensity comes from the brain's relief at closing that vacuum. It is a physiological response to the void being filled, regardless of who is filling it. Before committing to someone new after a loss, you must pause to determine if you actually value the person, or if you are simply reacting to an empty gap in your system. Attachment anxiety, the venom of the 4 horsemen, and the illusion of the rebound all share the same root cause, a life lived on autopilot. Stable relationships function because partners learn to recognize and actively override these subconscious defaults. This means choosing to inject deliberate moments of care to meet the 5-to-1 ratio, pausing to identify an attachment gap, and refusing to withdraw during an argument. You cannot erase your history or your brain's biological biases, but once you can see these invisible patterns, you reclaim the wheel. From that point on, how you love, fight, and heal becomes your active choice.